All right, so we're recording now. How are you guys doing today? Hope you're doing well.
Good.
Great. Did you guys get a chance to watch the video for this week?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay,
I didn't get a chance either. It's been a crazy week.
that's okay. So I'll just go over what we were talking about this week. I'm gonna go ahead and mute you guys for a second too. Okay, so this week we were talking about bravery in our business and why that's important. And so I did some research because that one's just kind of a I don't know, it's kind of a funny one, like bravery in business doesn't really make sense. Well, a whole lot of sense, but it's actually one of the most important parts of business and building our business. And the reason for that is, oh crud, getting notices. Okay, so I found this article written by Richard J. Bryan. He's a speaker and consultant in the US and in the UK, and he wrote about being brave in business. And his opening statement in this article really spoke out to me, so I'm going to share it with you guys. It said, one of the most important lessons I have learned is that if you want to be successful in business, it is about more than ability or talent. It is about being totally committed to following through with your chosen strategy and not letting anything get in your way. This is what I call bravery. And I just thought how true that is. Like we get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life. And, we've got like kids, or you have a husband, or you have work, or whatever the case may be. And sometimes our business doesn't even get our attention whatsoever. And when it does get our attention, it's the, 5 or 10 minutes before we go to bed. And then we're not really working our business. We're just trying to stay afloat in our business, so to speak. Like we're just trying to maintain. And when we do that, our business tends to take the back burner. And so things start falling, by the wayside. Like things kind of just start in a downward spiral, because if you're so busy with life, and don't get me wrong, like your kids, your family, your job should definitely be a priority. Like I'm not saying be PLEXUS 24/7. But if you don't take out those 30 minutes or whatever you have chosen to designate to your PLEXUS business, it's not going to work. If you have people under you and you're not giving your downline your time or your attention, again, it's not going to work. Because they're not getting what they need from you, and you won't get what you need from them. It should be very much a team effort. You should be able to motivate and uphold and support your downline, and they should be able to do the same for you. And likewise with your clients, with your customers. If you have a customer that's having an issue with, I don't know, like some of the products that she's taking or he's taking, or whatever the case may be, and you are not there to like readily answer their question. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But if they are having issues with the product or whatever, they just don't understand, or they need to figure out how to like switch up their routine for the products to best work for them, then if you are not there to answer them, or you don't have someone that, if in your absence, or if you're at work or whatever, that could say, hey, you know what, I know how to answer that question, let me help you out, well then they're going to eventually fall off as a customer too, because they're not getting your attention. And just as much as our downline needs us, our customers need us that much more. So it's important to maintain balance in that aspect. As far as Bravery is concerned, we all want to build our businesses, right? We all want to rank up. We all want to go as far as we possibly can in the company. I want to be double diamond. I'm setting my sights real high. But currently I'm shooting for gold. And if I'm going to make those goals happen, if I'm going to succeed and I'm going to achieve those goals, well, then I got to step out of my comfort zone. I have to, do something unexpected. I have to get out of my ordinary. The saying goes, if you do the same thing over and over again, you're going to get the same results. The definition of insanity in my book. And I don't want to be insane. And so in order for me to build my business, I can't just keep doing what I'm doing. Of course, I'm not going to stop posting via social media, and I'm not going to stop talking to people about it, but I have to go outside of my warm market. I have to venture outside of the people I know, and I got to start talking to people I don't know. I have to start talking to complete strangers, or I need to start hosting events, or I need to start doing an online party, or whatever the case may be, even if it's to make a video just to post to your social media pages. I am not one that likes to be out in front. I'm very shy naturally. So when I say making a video and posting it to your pages, that's hard for me because that's just not me. I'm more, let's just talk, over the phone. Let's talk one-on-one or whatever, small groups of people. I'm good with 5 people. You get more than that and get a little nervous. So, that's what it's going to take though for me to build my business. I have got to get out of my comfort zone. I've got to put my pride aside. I got to put my big girl pants on, and I got to do something different. And that definitely takes bravery. Definitely takes bravery. Especially when it's something you're not accustomed to. I know a lot of us couldn't make convention this year. Well, one of the people in this group took it upon themselves to host a mini convention. I would have never thought of that, much less done it and put it together in 3 days, and had over 50 people show up, had guest speakers and everything. I would have never thought of that. I mean, that's just not something I would ever comprehend doing, nor is it something I would ever have seen myself doing. But you know what? She was brave in that sense. She was very bold, and she was serious about her business. And that's what it takes. If we're going to go for our next level, if we're going to get to that next rank, or we're going to add however many ambassadors we want to add this month, or get the PV we want this month, or even 3 months in the future, that's the tenacity it's going to take. That's the kind of bravery it's going to take. You're going to have to do something that is completely out of the ordinary for you. And you're going to have to stay consistent. We know that consistency is key. And that's not just with, seeing results with the products, but that's in building the business too. If you fall by the wayside, well, guess what's going to happen? So will your business. So will every seed that you have already planted. You're going to stop you're inevitably going to stop watering them, and they're going to die too. In that same article with Richard Bryan, he listed 3 components that are necessary and that correlate with being brave in your business. So I'm going to share those with you guys as well. So the first one was perform positive actions. Everything you do to build your business or to share the opportunity or the products needs to be done in a positive light. There's so many ways that things can turn negative. For instance, if you're posting about PLEXUS and you're talking about how awesome the products are or how amazing the company is to work for, and you have all that hoopla and other ambassadors are like, yeah, this is the best company ever. You have potentials and you have people you might not even know who are interested, but they've been watching you. They're seeing these posts and they're thinking, oh, okay, well, this might be legit. There might be something to this. But if a couple hours later you're posting about how life sucks and, you don't want to do anything, you just want to stay in bed, and how you can't stand this or you can't stand that, you think that person is still going to be interested in what you're talking about? Not at all. So being positive in everything you do, be positive in your post. If you're upset about something or you have something going on in life that's really like ticking you off and you just can't deal with it, don't post that on social media. That's I've noticed the trend is when you're mad or you're ticked off, post it on social media so that everybody else can chime in and you feel better about yourself. Don't do that. Don't do that. Especially when you're trying to build your business and you're trying to build your brand. Essentially, this is your brand, and you don't want to start off a brand with a tainted image. So be positive in everything you do. Secondly, don't second guess yourself. Just like I was talking about the lady who did the mini convention because she couldn't make it to convention in Arizona. If that was me, I probably would have talked myself out of it because I second guess myself a lot. Like, is this right? Should I do this? Should I post about this? Should I say this in a meeting? I second guess myself a lot, and that's something I'm working on. Don't second guess yourself. Be confident. Be sure about what you're talking about. When it comes to products, if you don't know what a product does or what its benefits are or why a person should take said product, do some research, watch some training videos. There's tons on YouTube about our products. PLEXUS has one about product knowledge. I know BB Shadig, I think that's how you say her last name. She did a whole PowerPoint presentation about products, including Mega X, and what they have in them, their ingredients, and what their benefits are. I think it's in the files in the group as well. But research the products, even if you do some independent research. Get to know our products, get to know why they work, get to know what they do, get to know their benefits. Like, study. So when you're talking to someone about it, you're sure, you're confident, you're bold, and no matter what they say or what kind of negativity they try to throw at you, you know how to combat it without having to be like, okay, well, hold on, let me ask my upline, or let me go, rummaging through my notes. And the same with the business opportunity. We want to build our businesses. We want ambassadors to join, our friends to join up as ambassadors and everything as well. Well, they're not going to succeed if we can't train them properly. I know when I first started out, I started out with the whole excitement of everybody needs to join my team. I didn't know boo hiss about the products, all of them. I only knew about the two I had taken, and that was Slim and Accelerator Plus. I didn't know anything about any other product. I just knew what people said. I hadn't learned anything for myself, and I didn't know boo tomatoes about the opportunity as well. I didn't know anything about the comp plan except that apparently it was easy to make money, and that there were tons of ways to get paid. That's all I knew. Well, I can't have people under me and that's all I tell them. Like, that's the only things I train them on. If I don't give them some substance, just like a child can't live on milk forever. At some point they need meat, and they need other foods. They need some vegetables and all that other stuff. Same with our businesses. You can't just keep giving your downline milk. You have to train them. You have to feed them. You have to pour into them. And as well with our customers, you have to pour into them as well. Like, they need to know that just because they're a customer and they're not in our downline, that they are no less important. Like, we appreciate them and we care about them just the same. So be confident, be bold, be courageous, be brave. Don't second guess yourself. And then the last thing was think about the bigger picture. As I mentioned earlier, we all know what we want to do in this company. We all know which rank we want to achieve. Some people are happy just if they make it to Emerald. That's fine with them. If they never go higher than Emerald, that's fine with them. I'm not one of those people. Some people just want to make it to like Ruby, and that's fine with them. Again, I'm not one of those people. We all have our goal rank in mind, and we all know that that's what we're working to. So constantly remember the bigger picture. I'm not saying that our businesses are going to boom every month because, I mean, it's the summer. People are vacationing. You know, no one's really talking about weight loss or health or anything like that. You know, like people just want to enjoy their summer. And so there is a summer slump that happens sometimes. You can avoid it. And there's a video, by the way. Sarah Marble did one, how to avoid the summer slump. But, you know, it happens. Our businesses aren't going to like thrive all day, every month of the year. We might have slower months than others. And you have to not let that frustration get to you. Last summer, that's how it was for me. I got a check in June. I didn't get one in July. I didn't get one in August. I barely got one in September. I didn't make any money last summer. And it frustrated me as a single mom. It frustrated me because that is the only source of income I had. So to go 2.5 months not bringing in a single dime to support my daughter and having to depend on my parents, it killed me. And I wanted to give up. Not even gonna lie. And I'm sorry I'm getting emotional. But I wanted to give up. And if it was not for my upline and the team that we have, I would have quit. I kid you not. I would have been like, I was at the point where I was like, forget the bigger picture, forget where I could be. This is where I am now, and this is just not working. I was searching for jobs, couldn't find any. I would get interviews. People would tell me, oh, you're too qualified. We're not going to hire you. And at that point, I was just like, I just want to work. I just need money. And it never happened. It would always fall through. So I was depending on PLEXUS, and I lost complete sight of the bigger picture until my uplines were like, Tiffany, you can do this. It's okay. It's okay. We all have our moments. Don't worry about it. And they literally held my hand that whole summer. They held my hand and was like, we're not going to let you fall. We're not going to let you quit. Keep posting. Keep being consistent. It's okay. It'll work out for you. And it did. It did. September hit, and my check in October was the biggest check I had ever received for PLEXUS. The following month in October, I got my third ambassador, and by November, I was silver. For 9 months, I stayed a senior ambassador. That wouldn't have happened if I had quit. I wouldn't have ranked up, and my business wouldn't have picked back up if I had quit. So always think about the bigger picture. Even when you're frustrated, even when you're like ready to throw your hands up and just throw in the towel and say, I'm done with this, think about the bigger picture. Think about where you want to go, and think about where you've been. Like, think about what it's done for you so far. Like, PLEXUS kept me afloat. I was able to support my daughter. You know, I was able to get healthy. I was able to be in the now. She was able to have her mom, as opposed to me just like being tired all the time and not being able to give her that attention. I mean, you know, 1-year-olds crave attention. And I was able to be in the moment with her and enjoy life and really enjoy watching her grow. I will never take that for granted. Never. And I thank God and I thank PLEXUS for giving me that opportunity. So I'm at the point now where I am forever like, Tiffany, this is where you're going. Focus on that. Hi, handsome. So that was the last one. Think about the bigger picture. So I just want to encourage you guys to watch the video in the group, because the challenge for this week is in that video. I don't want to spill it to you and spoil the surprise. But that's all I had for today. I'm going to go ahead and oh, hi, James. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you guys, and I'm going to stop the recording so we can have a little